Good morning.
Hello, Justine.
How you doing?
How are you doing, okay?
Can you hear me okay?
I hear you clear as a bell.
Beautiful. Did you have a bit of trouble connecting?
I did.
That's okay. So you got me good now?
I've got you good now. I was trying to hook up on the phone and didn't work, so I had to get my PC on my MacBook out to make it work easier.
Sweet.
I'm very relaxed today.
That's cool.
Just,
So tell me what's going on.
I'm obviously not enough from Nicole.
Can you tell me why you believe that?
I explain things that I have to be very clear and concise. Everything I explain isn't enough. Everything is question. Question, but no drums there. That is.
You've just frozen.
I chose the big answer. So the same question's asked me 5 or 6 times, and it keeps getting brought up over and over and over again. So obviously I'm not explaining correctly because I'm not communicating in a way that she can understand.
So so you're saying she keeps bringing the one thing up over and over again. What's the one thing?
No, but whatever we're talking about, when we get into it, like on the weekend, okay, last weekend, just because of what Jessica's gone through, she takes a while to adapt, and I know that. And last weekend, she said, I said, how about I don't want to promise you any Jessica, but how about Nicole comes over? She goes, yeah, great. To Jessica, because she was excited. And I said, I'll give her Nicole a call. She goes, look, if she can't get here, get her to bring Lily as well. So Jessica is trying to slowly get to the stage where she is, because of her fear factor, she wants to embrace her. And she goes, you can bring the dogs, but unfortunately the dogs, you should worry about Charlie with Luca being so full on, as Jessica's new little puppy. It might be too much. Anyway, so on Saturday, Nicole goes, I can't get it over there. So I'll come over on Sunday. No dramas. She comes over and she knows that I've got to go back a step. Sorry, I've got to go back a step, and this is where it comes to. Last time, Nicole decided to get her injection, and I'm supportive for her. I don't agree with it, but I'm supportive. And I'm sure you know exactly what I'm talking about.
100%.
And regardless of what my feelings are, it's your body, you do with your body.
Yeah.
And it's through. Unless it's, let's not get too deep, we know what we're talking about. The minute she went to she agreed on it, you need it done. I need you to get it done. I'm really concerned if you can't get it done. And it was constantly badgering me to get it done.
When was this?
When she originally said she was going to get it done about 6 weeks ago.
Mm.
And goes, I'll book you in. She rings up, I'll book you in now. I've got a cancellation, I'll get you booked in. I said, no, you just kind of let me do me. And then I said, you can tell me about stuff, but if you want, but don't pressure me into getting the jab, because I've got my own things about it. And when things happen with my friends who've got the jab now and has really horrific side effects, I mention it. And I heard about those kids in Sydney, the school students who, on the last count, 7 had died. The public, it doesn't get publicly put out there. And I said that to Nicole. She goes, don't tell Lily. Don't get upset with Lily. I said, I'm not saying it to Lily to upset her. I'm just saying, you have to, whatever you do, you must do with open eyes. So I can't say a word to Lily. Okay, fair enough, I respect that. That's her mum. It's not my business. And I expect that. I respect that. I don't go any further. And I said to her about me, do not push down my throat the jab. And then I got to a stage where I got really frustrated. I buggered, I'm going to book in. So I booked in. Doesn't mean I'm going to get the jab. But I booked in. And she's on to me. So I'm going to get the jab. I said, you are literally going to push me away if you keep, push me away from getting the jab because I will rebel. It's the way I am. I rebel when people are forcing things down my throat. Anyway, so that was like a few weeks ago. And then when every time she brings up about, have you changed your mind, what do you want to do? And I go, I'll do what I do. So he's asking me, I do me. And it's those little tick, 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 tick on those points. Then last Sunday when she came over, and I said, come over. I said, I'm so looking forward to come over. Now, someone who's really looking forward to come over, I expected, and I thought, she went for a walk at 9:30. I said, I'd expect her to be home, come over here by 12. I ring her at 12. I'm not even left home yet. I go, okay, that's Nicole. I can handle that. That's working. And I let it slide. She gets over here, and the first thing she walks in, because I've got to pee. Go pee, no great, no nothing. Comes out and goes, why don't we all go get the jab now together? First thing comes out of her mouth. And I'm going, here we go, back. And again, this is me taking responsibility for my thing. I know I've gone. Finally got all four people happy to see each other, and she's forced to get the jab now. Jessica was booked in for this Wednesday to get the jab, and she got it done and got really sick out of it, but she's okay out of it. That's my Jessica, and so, but that's not the point. Nicole wanted us all to do it together. And that was her way of getting it done. And I went, no. And Jessica's gone, no. And then I was about to say something and she's gone, like, don't say anything from Lily about the jab, because it was stuff I've heard. And then Jessica started to lay to me and like have a go at me. Not in a nasty way, like taking the piss out of me. That's what Jessica does. That's something else that she didn't take the piss out of each other, which I know upsets. She has got that sense of humour. But I can't rebut Jessica without bringing up my thoughts, which I can't say because it's in front of Lily. So I've got to sit there and cop it. And that upsets Nicole because she's taking it a different way. Anyway, we go and have a game of cards. I distract her. Let's go and have a game of cards. We go and sit down and we're playing. And she goes, first thing coming around this, so what jab are you going to get? You're going to get fires, what are you going to get? I've gone, stop asking me about it. I said, I want to talk about it. And I did snap. And this is the tone I used. I said, stop talking about it. I told you I don't like talking about it, about myself or what anyone do, because I've been supportive for you. The minute you said the jab, said, okay, if you want the jab, I'm happy to help out. Stuff like that. I said, if you want I'll help you to book an appointment, I'm happy to book an appointment, I'm supporting you. I said, but I'll do me. And again, being supportive. And when Nicole got very defensive and just stood there, didn't really interact in the game, I said, you okay? And she goes, no, I'm not. And she went to the bathroom. And just go, cook some dinner, cooked us some, so Jessica's eating cooked lunch for everyone. But we haven't bought it, just cooked lunch. So this is what Jessica's doing to try to move forward. And Jessica took a while to get herself going. Jessica's now going to a psychologist, she's on different medication, and she's doing really, really well. You know what I mean? Really well. I've got my sons now, actually, that afternoon Matthew Virgin as well, so Matthew's living with me as well.
Did Matthew have a partner?
Had a partner.
Had. Okay, so he's separated and he's moved in with you?
Yeah, he's separated. An issue with my son, George, and him went to loggerheads about just different things about his ex-partner, and it was what really aggravated it. And it's for the better. And unfortunately, Matthew's ex-partner, the day he broke up, the day before he broke up with her, she was diagnosed clinically for bipolar.
Oh dear.
So the timing was bad, but in a way good, because as you know, anyone's with bipolar, there's only a short-term relationship. He's 20, he's 21, she's 28. She wanted to settle down. He wanted to do his career.
So it'd be good for him.
It's best for both parties not to be with each other, because someone who's just been diagnosed with bipolar needs to find their identity. They're struggling with themselves, and if they cling on to someone, as bipolar people can cling on to people, so we don't turn the phone over so I don't see flashing lights. It's good that this girl can actually get some time to herself instead of clinging on to that she was per se, and that could get toxic. So in a way, even though it was bad timing, it may have been the best timing possible.
100%. It'd be good for Matt to be home with you as well. That's really good.
It is, because I have to work out anything. I'm the father, I look after him. I have to do that.
Jess and Matt both have jobs, don't they?
Yeah, Matthew's a chef.
Yeah.
And he's starting his new shop, new business, but he also comes and works with me. Like that day gave me a hand. Even though he's an elite chef. He's starting a new business called, I've made the name of it, Bare Chesty Chef, which is catering for people bringing food to their home and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's doing a job, and he's very focused. He's very, very good at what he's doing.
That's good. And is Jess?
So I'm very proud of him.
Jess has a job too, yeah?
Great job.
Yeah?
Yeah, she's done.
Hang on, you're frozen again. This is so annoying.
Yeah.
That's better. So what does Jess do?
Jessica's in computer and marketing, does selling websites and doing all the back end stuff, and learning more about, she's getting into that kind of marketing stuff. Done her diplomas and all that kind of crap, and she's doing very, very well, and she's exceeding is in understatement. She's doing her job, what she was employed for. She's doing the marketing side of things, and she's also the leading salesperson.
Isn't that brilliant?
She's even the ones that said like it's people that have been there for 8 years and she's outselling 3 times and doing it in 3 days.
She'd be on good coin then, wouldn't she?
No. She's only on about 80 grand.
Jesus. That's still pretty good coin.
Yeah, I think it's 50 base plus commission.
Yeah. No, that's good that they're both employed.
Yeah,
okay, so
yeah, I'll get back
get back to the
So I've gone in the bathroom and gone, Nicole, I said, I'm sorry I've stepped, but please understand, I can't talk about this kind of stuff because I'm struggling. Because currently I'm exceptionally busy. I've got a multi-million-dollar property development going at the moment, which costs $1,000 a day in interest, 7 days a week, $7 grand a week in holding costs. I've got my swimming pool business and sailors, so I've got to keep my sales up. My cousin John, who does the installs with me, has done his backing, and he's had to get a cortisone injection. He's not working. He can't physically, he can still work, but physically can't work anymore. So that's been lumbered on me as well. So I'm literally working 12 to 14 hours a day, 7 days a week. And today I should be working still because I'm that busy. And when I do have a day off and go to see Nicole, I'm working in her house, doing things because I can't say no and I don't like upsetting people. So I do that. And the other, okay, let's focus, I'll come back to what happened over there a few weeks ago. But so Nicole didn't want to go to the bathroom, and after 3 times we go back to support, she didn't eat, came out. I said to her, come out. She's coming out. She said, I'm not hungry. So we went down, let's play cards again. She says, I'm going. Anyway, she jumped in the car, said leave, and she stormed out. And I'm not really going to lose like what the hell's happened. Just got home. I rang her and said, you okay? She says, no, she goes, everything I've done for you, I've managed money, I've mortgaged my house, and I've gone. And I thought, and again, this is where it got really sensitive for me. I said, I spent $20 to $30,000 bringing a lily back. I spent another $20,000 renovating your house before you shut away. That was before we can do leave. What's happening? I said, I borrowed about $130,000 of nothing. I'm in debt for the $225. So I'm paying back. I said, I'm paying the interest back 100%. I'm paying my money back 100%. Plus I'm doing the $7,000 worth in your house I'm paying for. Which is also going down 3 hour days a week. I'm covering that. I said, and you're having going out, I said, my property is back in my loan to you, so you're secured. I said, read what I did for you, and Lily, I did because I'm who I am.
That was incredibly generous, incredibly generous.
And she throws in my face that she's mortgaged the house. And I said, I know you have, and I'm super appreciative. But I've got no ties. I'm now renovating your house that's increased up to $350,000 more than the value. I'm covering everything.
I think one thing I've noticed is that, one thing I suspect, she's never been safe financially, and everyone she's been with has just taken. And she is, so what I'm saying is, when someone has the belief and that deep-seated fear around loss and around financial stability, it doesn't matter, and I know you'll get this, only 5% of our thinking is the conscious mind. The other 95% is our unconscious mind, which is all the decisions we've made over the years and the evidence we've gathered that we're not safe. Her behaviour is indicating to me that she doesn't feel safe. For her to bring that up, she's shit scared of losing her house because she nearly lost it to her last partner. And you know what I mean? So she's not saying you're like him. I think she's just, it's not about the person. She's, what I'm hearing, fucking terrified of debt. She doesn't get it, whereas you are. You get it, that you can borrow against something and you can actually use other people's money, as in not hers, but use the bank's money, use real estate to make tons of money. So your evidence in your unconscious bank is, fuck, if I lose money, I'll make it again. Now I'll make 10 times more and everything. Her only evidence is loss, betrayal, theft, uncertainty, lack of safety. So she's behaving like someone who's fucking terrified of loss.
100%. I get that fully. And I've actually said it to her.
But trying to explain that to her will be really
No,
challenging.
but I've actually had this conversation with her. Everything you just said, I've almost mimicked word for word and said to her, I understand why you are this way. I understand this, and I literally, and you can ask her, I have systematically told her, like you said, that I understand that you've been ripped off in the past. I understand that this is a thing that you have. I said, and I'm conscious of it. But that's still not the point. But because she brought it up, I went, and I just shut down. So when I shut down, because I'm stressed out with my own stuff, with my thing, I said, no, this is so that you've really screwed things up the way you've acted. I'm not going to tolerate this kind of behaviour. So I switched it off. And I let her ring, but I didn't respond because responding to her isn't talking, it's constantly wanting it's constant reassurance, and it's not a little bit, it is the same conversation, it's reassurance.
So that tells me that because she's constantly looking for so you and I understand why she's behaving the way she is, right? Until she's got evidence, until she's got evidence that she's safe, explaining it to anybody who's never been safe, that literally won't be processed in the brain, because our brain deletes and distorts information based on what we believe. So she can see this person who knows their shit, who can make money like a Trojan, that's probably not the right word, but it's just a machine, right? You can make it happen out of thin air. I think once that money is back in the bank, she'll have her first line of evidence, oh my God, it works. And then that will have, because it's physical evidence that the trust works. This is the first time in her life she's actually consciously chosen to trust rather than having it taken away. So when, for the first time in your life, you consciously trust something with no evidence in the past, it doesn't matter how beautiful your intent is, you're still shitting yourself the whole way and worrying, is it going to fall apart? So I think once she's got the evidence, once that's back in the bank, she'll be like, oh, and so much stress and shit will fall away, and she'll be ready to make the next investment and the next investment.
Well, and the thing is,
I know you get that. I'm just reiterating it. Yeah.
I'm saying it's not just that. Is I've actually mentioned this to her. Okay. Now, so then what she does is, because she can't contact me, she rings up Jessica. and she's had a few wines, and she
Oh,
doesn't.
Mm.
And she won't admit to how much she drinks. She started drinking again, but she won't admit to it. I'm only having 2 glasses. Her 2 glasses are 2 big glasses, which is almost a bottle of wine, then she finished the bottle of wine. So she's been drinking for the last 2 weeks. Since the birthday, she hasn't stopped. And that, again, annoys the shit out of me.
Yeah.
Because she's delusional with it. And I'm sorry to say that, but that's really horrible what I just said. But it's... So she rings Jessica, and she starts bitching about me. And Matthew's in the car because Matthew's picked up the thing, and Matthew's gone, what the hell is this all about? And pressed record on his phone. And it recorded it. So I've heard the conversation, and you, if you listen to the conversation, you'll understand it. And she's gone, did you know that I let your father mortgage my house for your father? And Jessica's gone, yes, I do. We were very open about it because how dare he tell you? That's our private business. Well, Nicole said to me, have you told your children, Jessica, that? And I said, no, I haven't, but I will. So I did. Because if you request something like that, your trust factor is, if someone, a partner requests it, you follow a request. Especially if there's something big for you, you've got to show respect.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not scared to tell them the truth.
Yeah.
Because if I'm scared to do it, that means I'm doing something dodgy.
Mm.
Okay?
100%.
Anyone who's scared to say anything is doing something dodgy.
Mm.
I'm happy. How long has it happened to Bill? And she goes, how dare you tell them? And she goes, I don't know who the hell, I'm engaged, I don't know who Richard really is. And Jessica, even though they've had issues in the past, has gone, Nicole, I understand where you're coming from. So you've only really known each other for 7 months, and you've gone a long way, you're engaged now, and you obviously don't know each other yet. And she's gone, how dare you say we don't know each other?
See, when you're pissed, you don't,
And she says, and then we record it up, she goes, I don't. And she's done these big pauses that she does as well. Like, stops. And they go, and you can hear my kids going and Matthew's got what? And kind of thing. They go, are you there, Nicole? Yes, I am. I'm just thinking. And she does these, and we're talking about, we're not about 5-second pauses.
They're big ones.
We're talking about 40 seconds, minute and a half pauses.
Does that happen when she's been drinking, or does it happen with any conversation?
All the time.
Okay. What I'm hearing, particularly with, it's a bit silly to call when you're hammered, but that's fear. All I'm hearing is she's fucking terrified. She's terrified of losing you. She's terrified of the financial situation because she just doesn't understand it. And I hope you get that she doesn't understand it, the financial side of things. All I'm hearing from your end is she's behaving in a way that is just full of fear. Full of fear. She's never felt safe in her life.
And that's why. I know that. And why do you think I said to you is, I'm not blaming her. I'm saying, I'm not communicating right with her. I'm not. And this is, can you hear even what I said to you?
100%. Yeah, I know what you're saying is, how do you make her feel safe? How do you get her to relax into the relationship?
And every time I talk to her, it gets into an argument now because whatever I say...
She's already frightened. Yeah, she's already,
I'll tell you how much I actually give a shit. I said to her 2 days ago, so on the recording also, there was some horrific things she said to Jessica and Matthew, Matthew was, who the hell are you? How dare you? Kind of stuff. It really wasn't nice. But
it's never going to be nice if someone's got a skin full and they're full of fear and
that's
awful.
So Lily told Jessica when she was here that Nicole had been engaged twice before to Matt, that broke off and got back together, and there's another guy in front of that she was engaged with. And that's what Lily's supposedly told Jessica, that Jessica told me. And unfortunately, there's too much facts behind it that makes me think it's possible. But when I spoke to Nicole about it, I said, this is what Lily said. And she said, that's why we don't really get along with Richard too well. She said, Lily, that's those Lily, these guys get along with Richard because they're sick of not getting engaged on a whim within 5 minutes. That's what the words Jessica told me, okay? That Lily told her. So when I spoke to Nicole about it, I said, Nicole, there's things brought up. I said, but you engaged previously in that, and there was two other, just before that, this was what I said. I never asked Nicole once, who was the guy? What happened? Because I said to her, I actually don't give a shit. I said, and I didn't quite then. I didn't question her because I don't care if it happens or not. I don't give a rat's ass.
Yeah.
It's no disrespect, Justine. It's like if we're in a relationship and I question you about your previous sex life.
Yeah, it doesn't
None
mean
of my
anything.
fucking business. And when men generally go, am I the best you've ever had? Kind of crap. I don't give a shit. I literally don't care. I don't care if I'm the best, the worst. If we're together, that's all that matters. And everything that I said to her was, and she's come back to me the next day and goes, I spoke to Lily about it. She never said that. So Jessica's causing me trouble. I what? I don't care. Because I said,
there's too many people involved in this. We've experienced this with our kids. We've got 5, so it's probably the same as you. You've got 6. We've got 5 kids who all, at one stage or another, in the first 10 years, just little things. And it's like, and it is, when too many people get involved, plus you've both got fear and feelings of not being good enough, and you've had bad past experiences, it's a Molotov cocktail for like a lot of distress and miscommunication.
I keep telling her, I said, why even ask Lily? Because I already told you I don't care. I said, I don't actually give a shit. But the kids think I don't give a shit. But your kids think. I said, because the end of the day is when Lily got home the other day and she was in distress, I was worried about her. I didn't care about her problem or what about my issues with her. I said, because my issues with her is not my issues with any of the kids. They're going to be douchebags. Just don't worry about it. But again, anyway, we went through that conversation. I said, and again, seeing that Nicole is not settled, and she said the other day, I'm going to definitely sell the house now. I can see the money having made out. I'm going to get Sarah. She'll get Sarah over here now. But I've seen that next neighbour's daughter, Heather's daughter, who's a good agent in the area. I said, Nicole, yeah. So we're talking.
Why wouldn't she get you to sell it?
I'm too busy.
Oh, okay.
No, that's what she's pushing at. I'm happy to sell it, but at the same time, I'm not going to question anything, okay?
Isn't it fragile? It's so fragile. It's so fragile. And when you... Sorry, keep going.
No, go for it. Cool.
You guys are so much like us. Both of us came into our relationship. I'd been burnt 3 times, horrifically, financially, custody issues. I had a lot of debt from fighting for my kids, mentally fucked. He'd had 2 exes, 3 kids, massive child support, all the drama. So we had 4 sets of exes also interfering, all about past shit from our childhood. And you were talking about, when you were young, you didn't feel good enough because of your brother, was good at all the things. And, Nicole's got her shit. And it is a shitstorm. And if all of that stuff wasn't impacting it, you've got you and Nicole, who are actually pretty perfect for each other, who really do love each other and just want to have a great life together. But there's always this peripheral mess that's just heightening everyone's senses. Then you've got lockdown.
It's true.
It's a lot. And what's happened over the last 7 months since you got together, it was stress from the get-go because you were already under financial pressure with the pool business and real estate and the property. Like, when she rang me and said that she was on her way to have a picnic at your place that you're building for you and her, she was lit. She had a warmth about her. I can't wait to see him. This is going to be our place together. She was lit. And then, you've got that big swing into this distress and panic. So when you've got all of that peripheral stuff going on, something like a vaccination and the COVID bullshit, or, as you know, all the stuff that you and I know, and the hype and the programming and the fuckery, excuse the French, when you are that heightened with your fear response and your flight response, you hone in on things that don't mean anything, but it's kind of like the only thing you can grab. What I see is she's sitting in one of those phone booths, and you're old enough to remember this. Do you remember on the Saturday Night Live, they had the phone booth with $50 bills in it, and they turned the air jet thing on, right?
Yes, right.
So she knows what she wants. And yes, it's an analogy about money, but let's just say it's plastic balls. So she wants this beautiful, happy life. And they turn the whizzer on. She's in there and she's like, I'm here with Richard. And they turn the whizzer on and fucking things start flying around, and she's just grabbing at whatever she can, and her attention's completely distracted by all of her fears and all the shit from the past. Her own daughters and their shit, her family, your family, all of the shit. Like, how could you be centered and calm and trusting and feel safe? How could either of you feel safe and centered and calm at the moment, let alone with all the other palaver going on? That's what I see. I get that it'll be super frustrating for you to try and reassure her, because it's like she's not listening. It's not that she's not listening. She's not actually hearing what you're saying, because her brain is like, oh my God, I'm not safe, I'm not safe. And it would piss you off because you're trying to say, hey, I've got your back. I really do.
But the other day I said to her, going to take the pressure off, I said, you said you want to sell your house. I said, instead of making a decision now, be more like me, more fluid in the decision making. Put it to the side and let's get the house finished first. And only when the house is finished, then make a decision if you have to sell.
That's really wise.
Guess what I got back 30 seconds later?
You can't tell me what to do?
Worse.
No? What? Oh God, what?
Do you want to break up with me? Why? You want me to stay?
Oh, she's so afraid.
And so I then spend the next, and I'm going to a job and I'm running, and I'm literally on my way to get there. I'm literally working on 4 hours sleep. And I'm doing physical work and then working on 4 hours sleep. It's not easy.
No. I'm surprised you haven't had a breakdown yet.
Of comfort. And that's what said to me yesterday, well, I didn't want to take a course anymore because it came to a stage where she's draining me so much now. You're
exhausted.
I'm totally exhausted and I'm done.
So you pulling away is making her freak out even more then?
Well, I've told her straight out. She said to me, do you still see me living in Mona Vale? And I said, not for a while now. Because I'm not going to lie to her.
And that's good.
I said, no, not for a while now. Because what do you mean? I said, what do you think about us? I said, I'm not sure. I said, because I don't think I'm good enough for you, because everything I'm saying, you're not, I'm obviously not delivering it right, because you're questioning me about things that I thought I've clearly consciously gone over several times. And every call's the same. Like yesterday, I said, I need some time to breathe, I'm exhausted. And she goes, I need you to come over, now. Right. And the other day when I said, I'm not coming over, I'm too exhausted. No, you have to come over now. And she's
so frightened.
She's so demanding me to be there. And I know what the problem is. Clearly it was all Jessica. It's actually not Jessica. Jessica has gone. Even Matthew has come over and gone, holy crap, Jessica's changed. She's now seeing a psychiatrist. She's on different medication. She's sleeping a lot better.
That's good.
Well, you know yourself, that's a massive thing.
Huge.
But you know what I'm talking about, because you're putting your own, talking the same headspace as Jessica, so you understand it better than most people. You know pretty well exactly what I'm talking about. Almost minute to minute basis. Yeah. And because of the cold current relation she has, I'm questioning it.
Okay.
I'm questioning it now, because even before she let me know, I let things slide with her misunderstanding of things and not really listening to what I'm saying. I'm not listening, but I'm not understanding, not listening, that's not really understanding what I'm saying. This has nothing to do with money. So when I'm paying for fixing the house up and stuff like that, she still, everything was questioned. 10 times over, even positive things was questioned. She just...
Oh, I know what's happening. So when
This is non-negative to work about you at all, but just so you understand. The minute I say, this is what's happened, she goes, I have been working on myself with Justin for the last so long, and I know exactly what I want, and I'm demanding I want this thing done, and this is what I'm not going to put up with anymore. And I'm like, and I'm kind of like, okay, straight. I know everything was between us, you and I. She's not ready for a relationship at the moment.
okay.
No way.
Okay. What makes you think that? I'm just curious because I know you're very intuitive.
I've come in about a year too early. She's not ready. If I wasn't doing Elimata, if Elimata was finished, if I had one job, not full, which I'm doing alone, and I could move her to a place in Northern Beaches close to me, I'd have time to literally hold her hand through developing. She's very fragile.
She's terrified of abandonment, and I think she sees every bit of distance and everything. She's looking at it through those lenses, and what somebody does when they're afraid of whatever we're afraid of, we actually self-sabotage, which
And
is
it's exactly what she's doing.
Yeah.
And she's doing it so heavily when I'm worried that, not worried, I'm more than worried, I'm getting serious doubts because her mental state is so fragile that I'm going to lose everything. My business is going to collapse because she's so much. She's draining me at the moment.
Okay. So I'll get back to this. So when you proposed a couple of weeks ago, what was the purpose of proposing now?
The proposal was to prove that I loved her and to settle her down, to give the reassurance.
Okay.
Please.
So, oh shit, hang on, just move a little bit so I know you're not frozen. Oh, I gotcha.
I proposed to reassure her where I was at. Okay.
Right. Okay, so.
And I think the problem that's happened is it's backlash heavily with her kids. It's backlash with other people. And it's made her more needy. Like, I didn't need to get engaged or married ever. Don't need to be.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah, of course.
My attitude is, it's going to be better. Actually, and the thing about it, the scary thing about it is, I know you get it better than anyone else because we are so similar, it's ridiculous. The way too ridiculously similar. And the problem I'm getting now is that regardless how concise I am with things, she is sabotaging this so heavily that, like the simple things is sabotaging on years. She thinks I don't like her kids. No, I don't. That's not I don't like her kids. I don't have an issue with her kids. It's a moot point. It is the kids. Not her kids. It's the kids. They're fucking business. Essentially. But I'm not going to put up with, like right now I'm literally struggling where at 9:30 at night, I'm still doing quotes, and she sends a message, "Now talk to me." Not calling me. I said, "You haven't called me either. Like, I've been busy quoting."
Mm.
And then she says, "You don't talk to me as much anymore." Like you used to. Well, I've got my cousin John at Elimata, who literally they can't do anything without me. Like, he's
He's
60
hurt
years
himself.
old, but he doesn't
Yeah.
have experience. People don't have the experience that I have in the building trade and what I do. And I'm not putting tickets on myself, is anyone who knows me in the building trade will say there's no one that I've never met with it with the extensive knowledge that I have. Like
And sometimes that can be a blessing, and sometimes it can be a curse.
it's a massive curse.
Yeah, because
on me.
exactly, there's so much that falls back on you solely, and it's not possible to outsource.
You can't, like, physically can't outsource it all.
Can I ask you something? Because I want to help you have some sort of resolution or give you some comfort or find something to support you with. If COVID wasn't fucking with everybody's juju,
I agree with that fully.
and movement and whatnot, because I think that's a massive component, unfortunately, because you would have been able to get away for a couple of weekends away, and there would have been that connection.
I've lost that connection with her now.
Yeah, and that's the thing. If all of that shit hadn't happened, do you believe, given a little bit of space and time and slowing things down a little bit, like, do you believe there's hope for both of you as a couple?
I believe hope is always there.
Do you want
As
it
long
to
as-
be?
When you want it to be.
Do you want it to be?
Yeah, I still do. I still have a, if you asked me that question last Sunday, last Sunday,
Hell no.
no, I had no, this time last Sunday was good.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
About an hour and a half from now was when it got started. I've now got doubts. She put that much doubt on me this week. It
Because
was
she
horrible.
was frightened. Yeah.
It was horrific. And the thing about it is, you and I are very similar to extent where we will let a lot of things slide. We don't even think about it because we know it's irrelevant. But the problem is, if you push us far enough to us to start analysing it, you see, you're not me. Our IQ is well above most people. So when you've pushed us to analyse it, we systematically start filing things.
Yeah.
And then we lob it. And unfortunately, that was the worst mistake Nicole could have pushed me to, because I was fatigued so much, and she's not accepting that I'm fatigued. That I wouldn't say fatigued. I've got no sexual drive in it. Zero.
And that's unusual for you because you were the opposite of that.
But because I'm so, and you know yourself, and this is where the womanly side of me is. If you're physically fatigued, your sex drive is zero. Men usually go the opposite way when they're fatigued and feel how they use sex as a proper. I'm very womanly, the extent is I don't.
Yeah.
When I'm fatigued, I don't feel like it's the last thing I feel like doing. Like, all I want is someone to be sitting next to me. I won't even be talking. I'm just
being.
Yeah. Like, she can read a book, we can be watching whatever, I don't give a shit. And that frustrates her. And she said, you said before you used to go to doctors before. I thought, well, that's a stupid thing because guess what? We're not even open at the moment anyway. And secondly,
This has really gotten quite messy, hey? Like, just a lot of miscommunication and a lot of pain and a lot of.
I'll tell you, I had a poker machine addiction when I'm down. But I'm so freaking tired. Even if you could have a poker machine, what do you shit about it? The best thing I could have done was told her all about it, and it's actually made it's just taken a big ugly elephant out of the room, you know what I mean? It's not like, it's not even a concern to me anymore. It used to be my little vice of self-sabotaging myself, and now I don't give a shit because But I think to a certain degree, I've grown so much out of this relationship myself. And that I'm now putting boundaries that I'm starting to go, I can't keep doing this. Because I'm sorry to say, this is horrible when I'm about to say this, but I've got $4 million sitting on the Elimata. I'm not going to jeopardise that.
No.
And if my coal is going to constantly going to be pressing me, you can love someone as much as you want, but that's again putting my factor of, like, I can't work. If I'm working, I get phone calls of, why haven't you called me? You don't message me anymore. Don't send me a message. You haven't told me you love me. Like, the other night this was the one that really got me on Friday night. We've both been funny this week because what happened on the weekend. And I go, give me a call after dinner. So, messages. I'm working. I finish work at 9:15. I'm quit. I just find another job, a good substantial job. I get on my phone to her. And put my phone, she hangs up. And I ring her again on FaceTime. She picks up because she's sitting in front of the TV, just watching TV. And I go, just have a chat. You know, sometimes I want to FaceTime. And that's fair enough. But she didn't want to pick up. Just lets her ring out. So she goes to the room, she starts talking. And then she starts at me. Just because this way, why don't you call anymore? And I said, I'm getting tired now. I said, the problem I'm getting is I'm so busy. I talk to her in the bedroom. As soon as I lay on the pillow, my body starts unwinding.
Yeah, you conk out.
My body's going, is that enough? I said, look, I'm going to have to talk later. I'm getting relieved. This is after that 25 minutes talking about you. No, I need to talk about this now. You know. I said, look, I'm really exhausted. I've got to get up at 5 o'clock. It's now 10 o'clock. I need to get some sleep. Last night, I left your place because I got the heartburn at 11:30. I got home at 12:30, and I was up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I said, I'm running low on
You
energy.
get wrecked, yeah.
No, you can't. Don't you dare hang up on me.
Wow.
So I said, look, I can't do this anymore. I've hung up. She rings me again. I've seen them met her calling again. I didn't pick it up. And I put the phone on the carpet so I don't hear the vibration. I still hear the vibration. I get a text is, I'm thinking it was exact words, not just some words. The exact words are, whatever she says it then. But it was, pick up the phone now. And it's almost like I'm dealing with a bipolar person. It's really...
I don't think she's that. I think she's just terrified of losing you and doesn't understand the amount of energy that you're putting into setting up your future.
Setting up the future.
Yeah. And as I said, behind all of that is that lack of trust. And it could be you, it could be anybody else. It's not actually the person, it's the situation. So I can see how being pestered like that would be really frustrating and tiring.
Oh,
because
she's drained the last living
Yeah.
and that's why I said, if you asked before, you can't punch it, but now because she's now going, she's put in a situation where I'm struggling.
Yeah, so then the next question is, where do you want this to go? Truly, deeply in your heart, well, as a side. What I want to do right now is, I need to breathe. Okay? Breathing. And what would that look like for you?
Okay, exactly what I'm saying. Breathing to me is just basically reducing the communication for the next few days.
Mm-hmm.
Not even doing talking at the moment, just go text, good night, hope everything's okay. It's not likely to be biopsy that she's getting done on Tuesday as well. Because I know the minute I get in front of her, or on the phone, she can't help it.
So, okay, so knowing that you want to breathe, and I actually think that's really sensible, because this could go one of two ways. As you know, like if you don't request that space, you're just going to explode and say, I'm done. If you request the space, if it goes pear-shaped because of her response or whatever, if it goes pear-shaped down the future, whether or not you're meant to be together, down the track in 6 months' time, I don't want either of you to be going, oh God, that was a mess and I'm so sad that it's over. It could have been avoided. So I wouldn't blame you for wanting to walk away right now.
That's a decision to make.
Having said that, I wouldn't recommend that you walk away right now.
No.
Because of all, and it sounds like you want to ask her for some space. Knowing Nick, as we both do, there's a possibility she'll see that as even more of a threat and you pulling back even more. So it would be about how you communicate to her that you need space, not so much why.
Okay, you know the best way of doing it? Straight up, this might sound like cowardly, if you actually give her a call and say, I had a discussion with Richard, and I think the best thing for you guys to do is because he wants to do it. Because right now, she doesn't understand. She's given me enough triggers for me to say, all the way along to say, I'm out. Okay? Even this conversation. I don't avoid the questions that you're asking. I'm telling you the truth. And I know the worst time to make a decision is when things are volatile and you're repeated. So even when you ask me, what would I want right now in a perfect world? I'm in a volatile position. You don't make decisions on that. That's when you go out for a walk and you calm your freaking hell down. Everything's settled. You can't make decisions unless you've got a clear mind. And whilst you're in the turmoil, is the wrong time to make a decision. The problem I've got is, you like I are logical. And we do see what we're doing as being illogical. Can't go with everyone else in the way.
Yeah.
If she wants every day, I'll screenshot my history on my thing on the iPhones that says every app is downloaded.
But do you think that she thinks that?
Yeah, she 100% she has.
It's so odd that you say that because she's never indicated to me, verbally or like never articulated that she's worried about losing you to someone else or that you're doing any of that. She's just terrified of losing you.
But I think she's terrified about everything.
Yeah. And look, I really think COVID's feeding a lot of this shit. Like it would have to be probably only 30%, but it's not helping.
No, I think it's more than 30%. I actually think a lot of my forgetfulness that I've been lately doing, that I never forget things. I was telling a few people about it, is things that was normally quite, I think I've always given mention set things at the time.
Yeah.
COVID has completely stagnated our way of life working. Previously we've got a rhythm. Our body's with a rhythm. That is not actually just a throwaway line, it's actually fact. The body do this for that. Yeah. The circadian rhythm. And then all of a sudden the rhythm has been shunted with lockdown, that throws that rhythm out to the body. So your body is in stress and trauma as it is, which means where's the stress and trauma? The first thing that comes to mind. So you forget things which would have been normally. Oh, I've noticed it with a lot of colleagues as well. Yes. And do you know the other thing that I've noticed is that people are getting really bored at home and they're being triggered by a lot of stuff, and a lot of shit from the past is coming up that they never would have been triggered because whilst they're going work to home, home to work, kids to sport, doing all the things, they're actually avoiding having to deal with the thing. And they may not even know what the thing is, but I've noticed a lot of people are going, oh my God, I actually hate my life. I'd like to be doing this instead. There's people amazing. I've had 3 colleagues this week in the last probably 10 days take long service leave or 2 quit their job and 2 took some long service leave because they realised that stuff was coming up because they can't do all of the stuff. Their rhythm's out of whack.
can't do their normal routines.
Yep.
So it's triggering the shit out of everybody.
Yep.
That's also impacting relationships. So we've got all of this other peripheral stuff. I think if you said to her, it would have to be worded very carefully that, you know, around, you know, it's awful, the situation that we've come to because of all of the external elements, and we're both freaking out and we're both tired and got all this stuff going on. And I don't want either of us to make a decision right now that we'll regret down the track. So in order to keep things safe and loving, I think we need some space.
I tried it the other day, and she I need to slow things down, and she's going to go, and she's gone.
Yeah.
The thing about it is, I'm going to do it in a more clinical way.
Mm.
What I'm going to say is that I'm going to send her, I'm not actually going to call her,
No.
just hold the phone. I'm actually just going to send her a text and say, I've just had a long conversation with you. And that. Because we both know that.
That's a good thing to say, but that's a good thing to say up front because we both want this to work.
Yes.
Because I don't want to be stuck in the middle and have her ringing me, screaming her head off and accusing me of ruining things.
Yeah. Because both my weeks, I'm going to go silent for 3 or 4 days to get my head together. Because right now is too much has happened, and too much is happening. Too much is happening, and I don't want to make the wrong decision. I don't want this to go badly. Is it a wrong decision?
Yeah, it's really, I think if I want to make sure I'm completely absolved because I care about you both very much, whether you're together as a couple or as separate people. And if I get stuck,
we're going to be friends forever. I know that, that's not the point.
But if either of you put me in the middle of this, you'll be pushing the motherfucker button because I am not responsible for your decisions and I don't want to sway you guys either way.
You're not.
What I want you to do, like the way that you just verbalised what you said then is good because you're not, you're upfront with, because we both want this to work. And there's been so much happening. That's however you word it, but make sure, and whatever her response.
You know, I'm not gonna suggest that you said it because at the end of the day, you haven't said it. I'm one who said it.
I know you said it, yeah, but don't say it. Yeah, none of this Justine said. You know,
that's not gonna end well because again, right now, she will need you more.
Well, she's just signed on for longer. I'm surprised she did. I actually said to her, you know, I think you've got this, and she's like, no, I don't. And now I get it. It's that fear. It's the fear of loss. You know, she believes she's chosen a magnificent man and she believes she deserves you. And you've got all this shit going on and it's just triggering her. And by all the shit, it's the kids, the COVID, the drama, all of the drama. And you could even use that word and just say, you know.
I wanted to mention it. I'm going to
keep it concise.
And I'm going to keep it very contained.
Yeah.
Because the phone's going to blow up the minute I send this text.
So if you, how are you going to reassure her and how are you going to ask for her to respect your space and not?
I'm just going to be very clear about it. And say, I won't even just make it a week. I'm just going to leave it for a week. This next week, I'm just going to.
Yeah, it's got to be a defined amount of time because if it's not defined, then that will filter out.
I'll talk to you next Saturday. I'm going to make it that way. Very, very clear and concise.
Yeah.
We'll talk next Saturday. I said, but both of us need to re-establish what we stand so we don't jeopardise what we have.
Yeah, and I know that you'll find the right words. I think what's a way that you can reassure her during the week without inviting phone calls and things?
This is nothing.
You got to get creative here. Like, it gets to be fun, because this is really painful. This is really painful for both of you. And that's very sad to watch.
There is nothing that...
Oh, hang on, you've just lost volume. Something's happened with you. Damn it. Can you hear me? I've got nothing. Bloody hell. It's when you moved you. Okay, talk again.
Is that better?
Oh, gotcha. I don't know what happened then.
Oh, yeah. Unless I was covering the microphone.
Possibly. I've done that before.
I don't know. I've got no idea where the microphone is, but...
That's all right. It's fine now.
The problem is, I'm not like normal people. I actually got a very deep insight on things.
I know you do.
It's very, very hard for me to... When you ask a question that I play in my mind, automatically, that's going to happen.
I know.
It is literally... I can't give a reassurance without opening any communication concerns out.
That's right. So as long as you give her, like, be very careful how you word it. It's worth investing half an hour in, at most, but it's worth investing time in getting that right, the way that you word it. It's worth opening with what you said, because we both So we, and then at the end, and just say, and make sure you let her know that you love her. And it's because you love her and because of all the stuff that's been happening that you just want to put the brakes on for 1 week. And that you're going to go and see her next Saturday morning, that you're going to rock up. Because unfortunately, this is an opportunity, like, your request needs to be respected. And if it's not, that's not great.
Yeah, yes. I can go over and over again. I've given you a really good insight. I can give you another 30, 40 examples. Things
I'm sure.
We don't need to do that. It's just it's not helping anyone out.
I think you're at the point where you know how you understand her very deeply, but you got a lot going on, and if there weren't all of this peripheral stuff, it'd be easy to sort out.
I think also it sounds really weird because when she went from 5 days a week to 3 days a week, actually got worse.
Yeah, because you've got more time on her hands, maybe.
Right.
Sometimes it's like, be careful what you wish for.
She's got all this time, she overthinks things. Normally she's 5 days a week and she's tired and she takes an hour and a half to do more before she starts. But now having that 3 days a week.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Because like last week, I asked her 3. We tried every way for her to come over on Saturday night, and she made every excuse not to come over.
I think because she's afraid of what, feeling uncomfortable around Jess. I think she...
What I'm saying is, this is what, and I think to a certain degree, is her actions and passion of the most, what she got upset about, is she really told me she doesn't like Jess. And doesn't want to be around Jess. So for that reason, I think she is self-sabotaging. A couple of things she made up, which really, I'll be honest with you, really didn't help the cause. She said, I don't want to see people that house at Mona Vale. She came from the Grannies.
Why would Jess be living with you at all? Isn't she like 23 or 24?
Yeah. So
how long is she planning on living with you for?
Maybe 2 years, I have no idea. Not really worried about it. Doesn't want
Yeah.
And the second thing she said was, you keep saying the house is going to be ours, but there's nothing in paper to prove it's ours.
That's interesting.
She
doesn't feel safe. I mean, it's just screaming of her not feeling safe. And like I said, until that first cycle, because once she gets what money can do, until that first cycle of, oh shit, the money's back in the bank, I reckon once that happens, she'll be like, right, what can we do next? But unfortunately, until then...
And that's what I said to her, is don't even think about the house people making it, because it has to be interest. They will consider it. And I keep saying, she has to be more fluid. But she tries to micromanage, like I said to her. My old saying is, have you eaten an elephant? The answer is 1 bite at a time.
I think the less safe she has felt over time, the more it's elevated her panic and distress, and that is just pushing. You know.
I can understand why her family's always was frustrated with it because of the reason that she gets so intense when things aren't going well. If people who lie when things go not well, we step back and go, hang on. Okay.
But we've, in our lives, had more evidence or recovered and created more evidence that it's not, you know, as bad. Whereas I know a lot about her past and there's every reason for her to catastrophize. I'm working on that not happening. But I completely understand it. Pardon? Oh, beyond, way before that. And that was, he was just more evidence. So, good luck, mate.
I do.
Like, and it's what's sad is it's so unnecessary. You know.
And the thing about it is, when you said to me, is where do I stand, where I feel? You gave me the perfect opportunity to say, I'm out. So, mate, but I didn't. And that's trying, but at the same time, I'm not a liar.
Yeah, but no one's saying you are.
No, so because I'm not a liar. I will actually tell people the truth how I'm feeling.
Yeah.
Which makes it easy because I understand if you're delusional to yourself, you're delusional to the world. And that's all it comes down to. I don't want to be delusional to the world. I don't want to make things harder than it bloody is.
Oh my God, at the moment, Jesus Christ.
And I've got no issues. I think I sent through the, I'm just going to stop sending the TikTok stuff because obviously like this, you get bombarded with the other stuff.
Sophia flogs me with it, and it's just, it gets, it really impacts my energy, and I'm not okay at the moment anyway. That's why I've taken some long service leave. So, you know, I've even said to her, like, can you just back off, mate? Because I follow a lot of Telegram, you know, channels, and you know yourself, sometimes you get to a point where you're like, oh, can't handle any more of this.
I think that the biggest thing with that is, it's not the recent stuff. What freaks me out is the stuff that was brought up 5-10 years ago, which are the people who are making then outlandish claims. Even to the stupid thing in 1989 that movie that showed Alf, the alien, goes, you wait, 2020, there's going to be a pandemic.
Yeah, and The Simpsons, and there's heaps of others. Yeah, Sophia sent me heaps of stuff.
And the good thing about it is, you want to know what I have actually done that has helped me? I actually don't. I'm not anti-government anymore. Do you know why? Because they're not in control.
Yeah, exactly. They haven't been for a long time.
So they use blaming Gladys and blaming ScoMo and blaming Andrews and blaming Palaszczuk. Well, Palaszczuk, she's just literally twisted in her own mind. But that's not the point. But I feel sorry for them because they think they know what's happening. But it's well over their pay grade.
And I think also there's a huge amount that they're oblivious to.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, there's a huge amount that they're oblivious to, and they believe they're doing. Yeah, it's not the stuff that's happening now. It's the stuff from 20, 30 years ago. Like, I remember 32, 33 years ago, I was in Amway. I was about 18 or something. Back then, we went to a seminar, and they're talking about how fridges weren't always going to be white, and fridges would eventually have an LED, like have what they described as an LED screen that you would touch, and the fridge would give you your shopping list, and everyone's like, oh, that's bullshit. And it's interesting, they knew about that technology back then, but it's only coming in the last 10 years. And if you watch the Jetsons, they had microwaves in the 1950s, you know, when the Jetsons cartoons were out, and flip phones well before they were available. Like it's almost like this has all happened before many times, and we just happen to be born in the bit where there's that transition to the shit vibe.
So have you ever researched the Philadelphia experiment?
I've heard about it.
You know, I forget what his name is, but the guy who actually was the world's smartest man, Tesla.
Nikola Tesla. Yes.
Nikola Tesla was part of the people that actually did the experiment once, and it was all about creation of travel, time travel. And we're going off the subject here, but we have got, I believe that is happening, and that's why they know what's happening backwards and forwards. I do believe that's why some people become mega rich and some people aren't. It also goes back to why they found a Swiss watch.
Oh, yes, yeah, I saw that.
2,000 years ago.
Isn't it crazy?
But it also explained what Nikola Tesla said about the pyramids. And if you look at the pyramids and the granite coffins that what they are for, they're actually batteries. And that the electricity was used, static electricity energy, with the Egyptians 2,000 years ago. And that's what the pyramids is that gold things. If you look at the water flow and the whole lot actually becomes static electricity, and that they used to have electricity 2,000 years ago. So you start looking at that kind of stuff and you go, hang on. And if you look at the pharaohs and all these different things and you start going, hang on, are they actually showing the aliens or the people travellers who came backwards and forwards? So a lot of the stuff that we see as used to be fairy tales and that, there's actually a lot more meaning behind it than we actually think.
Oh, huge. Yeah, that's a whole, it's...
And this is just, we're just talking on a different level, and unfortunately, a lot of people, we're not being conspiracy theorists, we're just being very people trying to open our minds to the possibility of what things out there and not having closed mind.
It's about being curious. Because if you go back and watch the movie like The Matrix or Looper or The Truman Show, you know...
They're kind of making jokes that this is what's really happening.
Yeah, it's like hiding in plain sight. Yeah. All of it hiding in plain sight. There's an In Excess song, I think it's In Excess. And they're in the desert and they go down a elevator into well underground where there's child slavery in one of their songs, in one of their videos. But like, mind-blowing when you go back and it's all hiding in plain sight.
Remember that, I don't forget what it used to be called, it'll come back to me, where you could only use the age of 40, then you basically went into the retirement era, which was just they executed you.
What was that?
It was a show that used to be, and everyone lived in domes.
Oh, God, that was ages ago.
And it was, and people only lived to the age of 40, and it was people were mainly sterilised, and you had breeders and non-breeders and that.
Speaking of breeders, have you watched
No?
The Handmaid's Tale?
That's exactly what we're doing.
Oh, I watched that because it came out just at the beginning of the first lot of COVID.
Yes.
And I was watching it, and then as I got further into it, and then ISO kept happening, I was like, shit, and then the vaccinations, and Sophia, actually, I want you to have a look at her. Her name's Sophia Baziotto. You'll find her on my friends list. She's an IVF specialist. She's been a scientist for 27 years. She's extremely vocal about what's going on and doesn't give a shit, you know, who deletes her. And she was going on about The Handmaid's Tale as well, and that, yeah, fucking scary stuff. Yeah.
The thing about it is, what people don't understand is, I personally believe this is going to continue for another 2 years, and then World War III is actually going to commence.
In what form? What form do you believe it will be in?
People will finally fight it, and we will end up winning. But at that stage, you're going to... This is my download sheet coming out now. This is not actually Richard thinking about this and stuff, but I feel it's going to happen. So I know it's a download. 2024, 2025. It's going to start in 2023. It's going to be a massive...
I feel like civil unrest.
Yeah, and the people are actually going to go against the army's going to turn with the people because they are the people. And so the police is going to be very much worldwide. And I think Australia, to a certain degree, is going to be a little bit isolated from majority, this is going to be more happening in the Europe first and spreading from Europe out into America and Africa. Not really Africa. Africa's not really going to be affected per se, for some reason I feel. But it's going to be huge. I think the Rothschilds are going to be finally overthrown.
Thank God.
I feel that they're going to be Bill Gates is going to actually show us what he is. He's actually the devil in disguise.
Shit.
Nostradamus. Okay?
Yeah, I got your back. Yeah.
The readings of Nostradamus kind of says the devil's going to come back to the world. And I think he's the devil. I actually do believe. Because he's worked with the internet, which is the biggest corruption.
And all the stuff that they've done in Africa as well. Like
200,000 people they sterilised and murdered and all that stuff. I know Hillary Clinton and Hillary Clinton are just horrid people. But yeah, I do believe that the people will finally rise. It's starting to actually have a bit of momentum up in America at the moment. I believe Trump will either get him back in for 3 months and be executed by assassinated, or assassinated within 3 months of being into power. And I think he's definitely going to be assassinated though, because at the end of the day, he actually is trying to do the right thing.
That's so true.
Because he doesn't give a shit. He literally doesn't give a shit. They're going to say that Trump couldn't talk. Look, this Biden, he literally can't talk. He's got severe dementia.
Biden, yeah.
He's a shocker. But for travel and all that stuff, 100%. 100%. I believe that I'm going to go even more craziness. I believe that we have got people rather aliens are actually living with us already, and I think they've got to do a lot with time travel, and I think they've got a lot to do with the mega rich. I'm not talking about the mega rich, I'm talking about the highest point. I think what was the name? The guy who's
Elon Musk or
Musk.
Yeah.
He's actually good. I don't think
he's an interesting kid. Like, he would have been a fascinating kid, I reckon.
Yeah, he is not part of the establishment. He actually...
He was a pain in the bum when he dumped all that Bitcoin last month, though. That pissed me off. Hey, I've got to go because I've got something else on now. Do you feel like we got some resolution today?
You know what we did today? You want to know the truth? Truthfully feels like my brain's in your head, and I just had a conversation with myself. You know what I'm saying?
That's not such a bad thing.
No, but truthfully, you know what I'm saying. Because unfortunately, there's too many similarities the way we talk and think.
So, moving forward, you word that text very carefully.
I'm going to 100%.
Don't drop me in the shit.
I'm going to, after I send it, I'm going to screenshot it and send it to you so you can see it.
I don't need to see it. I really don't. I think that...
You're not getting dropped in the shit at all.
Yeah. Because...
I was going to say straight is, after the meeting, it's reaffirmed what I need to do.
You'll just think about it. Think about it, you do it, you send it off, make sure that it's worded beautifully, do your thing, chill out, take care of yourself for the week.
I need to, because if I don't do it, it's going to go back.
Yeah. And stop, be really careful about what you're fueling your body with. That's what I'm getting. So you know exactly what I mean, okay?
Yeah,
all right.
I drink so much coffee because I'm trying to keep it away.
Yeah, it's not helping you. Okay. Try drinking water, okay? Bye.
Bye.